Right, so it's time for another one of these update things. A little bit of an awkward sit in front of the camera and try not to look away like this. So I've got a list of things here to go through because it's quite a big update this time. There's been quite a few things going on. I should have done an update in between, really. So first off, there's a few things going on regarding some of the groups I run. So we've got a group build going on at the minute, which anyone viewing is welcome to join. There's a Facebook group where it's being hosted. This is a group build for subjects, or well, modelling subjects covered in the Spanish Civil War. So that's the group as well. I'll put links in the description. There's going to be a lot of links in the description, but just bear with me. So that's running from the 1st of August up until the 31st of October. There's already quite a few guys involved in the Facebook group. And we can also, if you're not on Facebook, I'm doing it via email as well, so you can send me updates via email. And basically it's all for fun. There's no prizes or anything. It's just to try and get stuff in the group going and trying to get me to crack on with some of these builds. And it's not that I've started yet, but that's what it's all based on. And trying to get people out of their comfort zones. We've got a couple of guys that don't really build any subjects related to the Spanish Civil War, and they're getting involved, so it's just quite good. And there's a lot of it about. So you may have seen, you know, this Edward boxing is a perfect candidate. I mean, we're going to have a whole staffel of 109s by the looks of it. I think there's at least 5 already, but that's no problem. That's going to be obvious. There's always going to be 109s when you're doing anything related to that. So yeah, check it out if you're interested. Just drop me an email. It's all down there in the description. Join the Facebook group, whatever, and yeah, get involved. So that's the first thing. Secondly, there's a shout out to a channel. Should have done this a while, but he's given me a shout out as well. He's a good guy. I speak to him quite often over Facebook, and he's in the group build, and he's done a review on his YouTube channel. So that's Tim Hedworth, and he's Tim's Scale Modelling is his channel. You probably a lot of you are probably in the group. He runs co-runs a Facebook group called British Aviation and Scale, which there's a lot of people involved in, so I'm sure most of you are actually in that. So anyway, he's got a YouTube channel, so links in the description below. He's building an airspeed Envoy, much like this one, but a bit more colourful. So that's a British aircraft, see. So there's a lot to find out of Spanish Civil War aircraft. There's a lot of interests covered in that group. So yeah, if you're interested, check out that channel. If you like modelling channels, might be worth a look. Does reviews, shows builds and photo montages and all that sort of thing. So yeah, check it out. And if you like what you see, give him a subscribe, because it all helps, doesn't it? Ongoing projects. Now, some of you who have been around for a while will know I've got some ongoing projects that I should have finished. B25 from Airfix. Looks like it probably hasn't moved on at all, but we got some flaps gone on, and we got some engines gone on. It's just a mojo killer. I don't know why. I've just lost interest in it, but it is ticking on, and there are plans now afoot for it to get finished, as well as the P40F, which is just above my head. So if you're interested in those kits, fear not, they will be across the line before too long. So that's those, just in case anyone was hanging on for that. Also, I'm I'm trying to get more of a sort of presence going with the channel, with Facebook, with websites. So I've done a little update to my website, which is always linked in the description below. If you watch the videos, I don't suppose you're going to see much more from that, but anyway, if you're into websites, I have got a website for the channel where I'm doing some updates, and I may be able to do a few more things on there. So if you're interested in that, have a look at that. We've got a Facebook page as well for the channel, so if you're on Facebook, you know, give the page a like, it all helps. And that just sort of bolsters my interest. If I know people are looking at it, it gives me more of an incentive to do something, so that's always quite good. Now, as part of what I'm trying to do with the channel, there's been a number of things that I've added as part of the channel. They're not going to change anything. It's just there's one thing that I've been thinking about for a long time. A lot of channels do it with YouTube, and when you've been creating, it's like creators. It's what you do. So I find it a little bit not embarrassing. I just find it a bit difficult. But anyway, I've created 2 pages. So these are for money. That's what we're getting to. Let's not beat around the bush. I want your money. No, I'm not asking to or expecting anyone to give me money. But if you feel like supporting the channel, I now have created pages where you're able to do it. So if you want to do that, that's entirely up to you. Nothing's going to change on the channel, and you're not actually going to get anything necessarily for adding. You know, it's not like Patreon. There's all these locked videos I've got that you'll get if you subscribe. There's nothing like that. It's just if you feel like you want to contribute to the channel and you've got money to throw away, I'm happy for you to throw it at me, and it would go a long way to help with. There's quite a few things I would have liked to have done that I can't because you know your budget only goes so far. Namely, you know, I had that Airfix Hellcat on pre-order, which I decided not to do because I thought, well, it'd be stretch the budget a bit, and I'm sure loads of people have built it. Well, it turns out, who knew? By now I probably could have got the thing built, and I can't. There's people building it, but they're all doing it in different ways, and so I probably dropped the ball there a little bit, but you can't win them all. So not that £100 kits are what I'm expecting to buy, but you get the point. It all helps, you know. So there will be links to those pages in all the descriptions from the videos from now on. I've created a Patreon page if you're part of that. I'm not personally. I've never done it before, but it's a way of contributing to channels or creators. That's what they sort of do. And I've also got a PayPal link as well, so if you want to just direct money towards me, that's your choice, and I'd be very happy and very grateful to receive it, and that option's there now. So that's all that was, and rest assured any donations will go straight back into the channel. So I'll be buying loads of stuff, but yeah, no, I don't expect anyone to really do anything, but the option's there. So that's all I'm getting at there. So also I've updated, if you want to get in touch with me, I realise that for all this time I haven't actually had my email address. So that's now linked. It's linked to the channel and the about page. I'll also have it linked in the description as well, so if you want to get in touch, feel free to email me. That's the email for the channel, and all things regarding the YouTube channel, scale modelling, anything I've done. Feel free to get in touch, and always happy to receive stuff. Receive feedback, information, whatever, anything you want to ask. If you want to know a bit more about a build or whatever, that would be fine. I notice it will get a lot of comments, and it's very hard for me to try and respond to the comments because they come in thick and fast, and some of them are from very old videos and some are brand new videos, so I find it quite difficult the way YouTube does it. So I just try and give everyone's comment a like and respond to things that are actual questions, whereas instead of saying great video, I think, well, thumbs up, and that's good enough. So that's that. I have spoken to a couple companies just regarding a few things, working with the channel, if they want to send kits or anything for review and that sort of stuff, and I've heard back from a few, and it looks like some stuff might be coming here or there, and I've worked with companies before with this Spanish thing as well, and been sent kits for review, and it's just an interesting way to encourage, well, to get kits that I wouldn't personally buy myself, for instance, and I think one of these that might be coming is a sort of jet aircraft that I'd never really think of doing. So it's something a bit different, a bit interesting, and can be a bit of an escapism for me as well. Build something a bit different that I don't know about. I tend to focus more on sort of things from the First World War up to the end of the Second World War, and I'm sure a lot of you are interested in things outside of that, and it's mainly focused on aircraft, although I do really want to build armour. I just can't get around to it at the minute. So that was that. My builds at the minute, so we got the Storch. This is the Hobby Boss, or TriStar as it was. Pfizer Storch. This is the early version, so this is getting to a point now where I can get some paint on it. I've just sort of started doing some pre-shading, if you like, just checking seams and trying to create some shadows and stuff, and I had some nasty seams this morning that I thought I'd have to go back over, but once the paint is dried, it actually looks like I can probably get away with them, so that's always a good, it's always good when that happens, so happy with that. So this one should be across the line before too long, so that's something to keep an eye out. And then the next project is part of the group build, as I've been mentioning, so it'll be this Polycarpov i16 that I did a review of not too long ago, so that will keep the continuity with that. So we'll see how that one goes together. I think that should be quite a nice build. And then the last thing is just sort of asking the question to you, what you think about the channel, what you'd like to see. So there's a couple of things. Reviews. I like doing reviews. I think it's good content, and quite a lot of the subscribers have actually come from reviews over the period. I just wanted to sort of get your feedback. You know, do you find reviews interesting the way I do them? We sort of go through the box. There's not really much you can do as far as how the kit goes together, how the decals are going to go, for instance, unless you actually do them. And I do intend to build a lot of the kits that I do, but of course, you know, once you've reviewed a kit, you can't then just go and build it straight away and build another 10 other kits. So everything takes time. So just out of interest, you know, if I see that there's loads of you really hate reviews, then that'll give me something to think about. But if there's, you know, plenty of you that find inbox reviews, as they're called, useful, then I'll continue to do them. And I've got some very unusual kits that we can have a look at. Some of the resin kits that I've got, some of the short run kits as well. It all shows you quite a lot of different things regarding the scale modelling. So I'd like to know your views on that. And also, I've been thinking about, I've got live shows here written. I'm a bit hesitant to do an actual live show because puts me on the spot and I don't know what I can really offer you as such, but I was thinking more about sort of an interactive show where we could do something like a Q&A or something like that. Could do it once a month or whatever. Not that I'm a fountain of knowledge or anything, but if you've got any questions or anything that you'd like to know, or I can try out, or if I've got some tools here to show you how how they're done, I wonder if that would be of interest. So if it would, you know, the email's there now, so feel free to get in touch. We could do a sort of Q&A show or something like that. And if there's enough of you that ask sort of questions, you know, we could run through it all in one go. So just something I don't see a lot of it about. There are sort of modelling live shows that are about, but they're all more about watching people build along. I was just thinking if there was another way of doing it that would be of interest. So I think that better wrap up this update, which we'll call for August, September. Hopefully that was of interest. I'm about to be out of action for a couple of days. I've got a wisdom tooth that's going to be taken out, so I thought I'd get this one out before that grounds me a little bit, so that might stop a bit of the progress in there for a couple of days. So I thought I'd get this one out, and hopefully that's of interest, and there's lots of useful stuff for you there. So there's plenty of links in the description below, so feel free to check any of those out. Hopefully you like what you see, and stay tuned to the channel because there'll be updates coming soon. And like I say, the Storch will be the next thing up, so until then, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.